Thank you all for being here. This is the 2018 EdChange Global Game Changers Facilitators meeting on how to use this awesome chat platform. I'm Teacher of Steel. I'm helping y'all with your facilitation questions, your schedule questions, anything I possibly can. If I don't know the answer, anyone here who knows the answer is great and can help you. And if not, we'll reach out and find some help. So Lucas, why don't you go ahead and take it away.
Hi, I'm Lucas Chaffee from Qiqo Chat. Super excited to be helping EdChange Global for the second year. And I'm a software developer here in New York. I also work at the New York Public Library. And I'm going to do a quick demo of Qiqo. So I'll do that by sharing my screen. And this will last about 60 seconds, and then I'll take all your questions. So I'm going to click Share Screen over here in Zoom. Right now, we're all interacting in Zoom. And some people might be a little misoriented that Zoom is in front of your web browser. So web browser like Chrome or Safari or Firefox, that's where the Qiqo Chat page is that you came from. I'm going to click on Share Screen in Zoom. It asks me what I want to share. I'm going to share my whole desktop. So now you can see the Qiqo Chat page that we're on. But I'm going to back out one step to show you how we got here. And this is the link to the EdChange demo. You could see the date and time and a description. On the right-hand side, you could see who has RSVP'd and who is present. And there's a chat window. So if anyone ever gets lost, they could just type something in here in the chat. And this chat goes out to all the events, all the breakout rooms, anyone that's on the EdChange Global page, which is ecglobal.qiqochat.com. That's ecglobal.qiqochat.com. And EC Global is a hub for, you'll see the last time EdChange Global used Qiqo Chat. You'll see the event there. So that's a wrapper for all of the events that EdChange Global has. So when you get here, you'll sign in if you haven't already. And once you're signed in, you can click Participate Now. And everyone that I'm talking to here live has already done that. So once I arrive, on the left-hand side, it says First Time or Need Help. So if you haven't downloaded Zoom yet, go ahead and click that, and it gives you the link to download Zoom. And if you have any problems, then you can just dial in with your voice, or you can connect with Zoom, and you'll be both seeing on your computer and listening to people. So the fallback is just dialing in with your phone. So here you see we have a big red button that says Join Video for Main Table, and everyone I'm talking to on Zoom right now live has already done that. There's about a dozen of us in there. You can see profile pictures. If I click on any of these profile photos, I'm going to see the info you entered. And on the left-hand side, you'll see a bunch of other breakout tables. So just think of this as an online conference where you've got many sessions going on at the same time. Right now, this is the main table. We might have 100 people here at any given time, potentially. And this is just the place where someone will be there to welcome people and orient them. All the different sessions are going to be happening at the different tables. And they'll be populated with the names of the sessions. On the right-hand side, I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. You could see the schedule for EdChange Global. And it's beautifully done. The EdChange Global team put this together, and it's just embedded into Qiqo Chat. So Qiqo Chat just provides two things. It provides breakout rooms, and then each of these breakout rooms gets a notes page. By default, the notes page is just a very simple Etherpad, which is a light version of Google Docs. And you can embed a Google Doc in there if you wanted to. And when you click the red button, you're taken into a Zoom video chat. If I was to jump over to table 3, you'll see my profile icon is going to show up here in table 3. I'm still connected to you at the main table until I click the red button, and that's going to pop me out of this Zoom video chat and pop me into the Zoom video chat for table 3. On the right-hand side, you see there's an Etherpad document here, and everybody is going to type notes live there, so everybody would be typing in a different color. And if you have any questions, you could type it into the chat. So I'm going to jump back over to the main table. And I see that someone is over at table 1. That's great. You can all experiment. If you want to bounce around to different tables, this is just the demo event, so you could type anything in the notes. So I'm going to pause there, and I will take questions. Yes, hi.
Hi, I'm Irene. I have one. So if I'm in the main room or in any room and I select join video for a specific table, will it take me out of the one and put me in the other?
Exactly. You'll only be in one Zoom video chat at any given time, and Zoom handles that. They're the ones that know that you're already in one. You get a pop-up that says, are you sure that you want to join this other one? So the only thing that you would want to make sure you do is that you're looking at the right notes page, because there's all these different tables and they all have different notes pages. So you just want to make sure your notes page matches the Zoom chat you're in. And the way to do that is when you go over to table 2, you'll see a new button down here that says join video for table 2.
I like the fact that you can click on the table and look at the notes before you actually go to that page. So that way you know, am I at the right table? So appreciate that.
And if you're a facilitator, there might be some other admins aside from Coach Steele here, but admins have this extra link. And to pick up on what Rodney was saying, I could see all the notes pages right here. These are my admin controls. If I click on all notes, it loads a new page and I'll see, you know, here's what table 1 is typing right now. Here's what table 2 is typing right now. So admins have this overview of what everyone's doing and saying.
Where are those notes stored beyond this, like after the event?
There is a permanent link to each of them. So I have to click to reconnect when I jump over and look at all the notes. So here I am in table 3. And if you want to jump over to table 3, you're more than welcome to. We'll see your profile photo update over here. I see, it looks like some people are about to do that because the number of people went down over here. And here are your options. I'm hovering over this import export arrow. And you can download the notes here. Additionally, if I scroll all the way to the bottom, you can open the notes above in a new window, and that's the permanent link directly to that notes page. So I'll open it, and it's just the notes here. You can copy and paste that and save that link if you like.
And also, I clicked on that link to open into a new window, and I just typed a note for you over in table 3, even though I still wasn't in at that table.
Exactly, yep. You can be typing in one table or even just getting a sense of what are they saying in that table? Do I want to jump over to table 3? Is it more interesting or more relevant to me than the topic where I am at table 1, for example?
So we could be high-tech eavesdropping.
Exactly. I can't see everyone's photo in Zoom at the moment because I'm screen sharing, so I see only 5 people. So if you have a question, please just speak up and we'll be able to address it.
Lucas, I know for Chromebook users, before they change videos, they have to close out the one they are in before they click join video for a different table. Is there anything else particular to Chromebooks?
Not that I know of. And I would have assumed until the Ed Change Global team mentioned that Chromebook users were running into that Chromebook users would not have to do that. But that's what it seems like is true. Chromebook users do have to close out the Zoom video and then re-click on join video. So it's an extra step, closing Zoom and then opening the new one. Nothing else that I know of.
When it comes time for our facilitation things on the day next week, are we each getting one of these pages with a number of tables, or are we having one for the time slot and each table is given to a different session?
Great question, Michael. So the entire event is taking place at one URL.
Okay.
And so the table topics will change. And I'm expecting table topics are going to be updated by the facilitators or the admins, but it's possible at 2 a.m. Central Time, maybe no one's awake to do this, but this is what's going to happen. An admin's going to go into admin controls and they're going to click topics for breakout tables and they're going to write in the topics. So I will just say Facebook in the classroom. Citing Wikipedia. Just making up these topics. And Creative Commons. So I'm just labeling the topics to the tables. And in about 5 seconds here, you'll see those topics pop up here. So there, table 1 is now Facebook in the classroom.
So when you were saying before, though, when you were saying that the stuff that's typed in these tables are saved and that link is permanent, when this table topic name changes, what happens to stuff that was for the previous session?
The previous session notes will just be at the bottom of the current page notes. So just make some room, push the notes down, and it makes complete sense. I could see you're thinking this through.
Thank you.
For anyone that didn't catch Michael's question, he's going to say, session 1 notes are going to be here. And then now it's time for session 2 an hour later. So whoever's driving session 2 will just have to put their notes at the top or the bottom. And it's probably not going to be consistent across all the pages. But there is also, Etherpad has this handy tool for looking at the history of the notes. So there, you could see it being typed out. And kind of fast forward, and so you won't lose it.
Okay.
Even if someone deletes it, we can go back.
So I have a question. I think Teacher of Steel, you're the adult here, right? Are you the facilitator?
Yeah. Yes, for the moment.
Okay, so I would like, personally, I would like it to be like as streamlined as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to be the admin that's going to be taking care of putting in the topics for these different sessions?
We haven't currently decided, but I'll probably volunteer to do that just because I'm the one watching this and it seems like it'd be pretty easy.
Okay.
That way we can keep it with one person. Make it
Yeah, so we're a team of organizers and different people will be doing it at different hours, but collectively we will all make sure it happens. Promise.
Right.
And when do we find out which room is ours or which table is ours?
That was a question, Lucas, that you have a great option to answer because that was the one question I kept getting because our notes say you will add in your room number, but would it just be a link to the table that you're at?
So let's explore. I'm going to go back to the main table here. And in the schedule, I'm expecting that it's going to state which room. I don't know which of these is on Qiqo by looking at it, so I'm just going to have to take a guess.
I know mine is. It's at the very bottom.
Okay.
That helps.
What is the...
It's any of the yellows.
Any of the yellows? Okay.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Qiqo room number. And my suggestion to the organizing team is to fill that in with... okay, we got a thumbs up from Coach Steele. So this way...
Will that be a table number or a room number?
It'll be a table number.
Okay.
And we could change those to rooms. I can...
That's fine.
Yeah, here's the back end of Qiqo. I click edit as the admin, and it's a very simple interface, meaning not beautiful. That's what I mean by simple. And so I want to change the word for, use a different word instead of breakout table, room. I hit enter, and then room 1, room 2, room 3.
That's all there now.
So you said, because there's one URL to access this whole thing, so you can't link each of our sessions to a specific URL, correct?
Every breakout room has its own URL. So I think that's a good thing. That's what you're looking for. If you take a look at the URL at the top here, breakout/0, that's because I'm in the main room. If I go to breakout/1, hit enter, it's going to jump me over to room number 1. So every room has its own URL. And Irene, I was saying that what I meant to say was that you can get to all of these rooms from one URL. And that URL, I would say, is going to be the RSVP page. I call this the RSVP page. It's where you land. It's where everybody arrived today when they clicked participate now. And if you go back into the EdChange global circle, which is a wrapper for all of the EdChange events, you could see the 635 people that were in the last EdChange global event. And on the right-hand side, here is last year's event. Here is today's event. And then the event coming up is going to be listed here too. And so that'll have its own URL. So if anyone gets lost, it says, what are the events, and right there. So that URL will be the one that you can get to all the breakout rooms. After you click participate, it takes you into the main room, and then there's all of them right there.
So Coach Steele, can I ask a kind of, because these go back to back, and I guess you all or Katie, because you guys are going to be updating on the hour, or however you're doing it. So as a facilitator, if we plan to enter early, we have to understand, like if it was previously a Zoom session, we may be entering someone's ending session. Is that correct?
Pretty much so. So if, let's say I'm doing a session right now and you want to add, you come in 10 minutes early for your session and I'm not done. You can basically sit and chill in my session until the end, and then you'll have to go through and do you have to restart the Zoom, Lucas, or is she able to use the same Zoom?
Same Zoom.
Okay.
Just like you're in a physical room and the presenter from the last session is still talking when you walk in.
And from my experience, from the last couple of years I've been part of this, usually people end a little bit earlier than they're supposed to, like before the hour. So hopefully it'll give you a little bit more time to set up and get comfortable.
If you really want to take the conversation and continue it, like take it in the hallway, then what the organizing team can do is just have a few extra rooms down at the bottom, and it could say like hallway space 1, hallway space 2, and they'll just be open. And I think that even if you provide that space, people are going to explore it. And if I saw 4 people meeting in the hallway, just like a cocktail hour at an in-person conference, I might walk up to them. You can put your mouse over their profile and see, you can learn a little bit about them, like, oh, these are people I want to meet, and just pop in for a chat.
So my next question, Lucas, is so because these are just revolving open rooms, how does the host feature work from one person to the next person, or will there be a host, or is it just no hosting?
So the reason you need a host is if you want to record, or if you need to boot somebody. But I think recording is the only, that's the only one that's relevant to you. So
can you share without being a host? Or screen share.
Anyone can host, anyone can screen share, fortunately. You don't have to be the host, as we saw here with Irene today. And this is how it'll have to work. If you want to record, you will have to wait till the other host logs out, and you're already gonna be in the video here. You already clicked and you're in the Zoom, and so you're waiting for that other session to end. And so you're listening in as a regular participant. So once it's time to become the host, then you'll click on admin controls and join audio video as host here. I'm going to try this right now, and I'm going to see what happens, because I know that Coach Steele is the host. I don't expect that I'm going to be able to get in as host, but we'll see what happens. I might pop off. I'll tell you what I see. So I click that button. I see Zoom is popping up and it's thinking. Because I'm already in this video chat, it seems like Zoom does not show me anything. It doesn't give me the option to become the admin. So if Coach Steele left, then I think I would get a new, I actually think I would have to close Zoom in this case and then click join audio video as host. So that is my recommendation for people coming in early.
Well, so from my experience with Zoom, and if people don't know that, let's say the host of one session is like, I want to stay for this next one, they're not typically going to log out and then come back in. They'll just stay in. Is there a way for them, if someone has the host, can they give us the host? Is that turned on?
Great question. I don't know the answer to that offhand, and I'd ask Coach Steele, as we're in this session, if you want to try doing that. I wouldn't do it. I would just see if you have that option. At the bottom of, you're going to see participants, and when you hover over someone's name, you may see like make host oh, it says claim. I do have a claim host button here. So everyone that's in Zoom right now, great question, Irene, because I hadn't anticipated this. So I have a button. When I click on, I have to move my mouse around on Zoom a little bit. When I move my mouse, I get this black and white toolbar that pops up, and it says participants. I see there's 11 participants. And then I have a button, and I'm assuming you can't see my screen right now, what it's showing me. So I can click this button that says claim host, and I think something will pop up on, yeah, you can't see it, but Coach Steele probably has something that just popped up now on her screen, and now she can make me the host. So that's a little bit involved. But the neat thing is you don't have to go in and log out and log in. So you have a variety of options here. I think anyone that's thinking this through is like, okay, I got to become the host. If I can't figure out how to do it, I'm just going to close it and start over again. And that, as a default option, will work.
Wouldn't it just be easier for the people, the admin people from EdChange Global to press record at the beginning and keep it running?
Ooh, yeah.
It would. However, they'll have to keep Zoom up and running on their computer for X number of hours. So I think I will have to leave. Yeah, what do you think, Teacher
If you
Steele?
don't mind me jumping in there, since we have, like, most of us have free accounts, I don't know about D, but my accounts for Zoom are free, so I'm allowed to record 40 minutes. So for me, if I'm being the admin for it and helping out with this, I could record 24 hours consecutively. I'd have to stop after 40 minutes. So it'd be better if the person wants to record their own session, since we're not doing this on like YouTube Live or anything, to record their session and save it themselves.
Even go for just for thinking for individual hosts, if you open up PowerPoint and stick in the mix program, you stick on the record your screen to mix, and that'll do it for you there. And the quality is really good of mix too. So
That's a great suggestion. So I'm gonna add this in when I send out the final notes for people in addition to this session. I'll make notes of, in case you'd like to record your screen or record your session, here's some options of how you can do it. Would that be helpful?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Were
Awesome.
you able, Coach Steele, to give someone else host?
Oh yes, Lucas is currently host.
Okay, but you were able to give it to him, correct?
He gave it to himself. If I go down, so let me show you my screen for a second, if you don't mind with this. So
Yep, I'll stop share.
Thank you. All right. So where is it? Share screen. Sorry, going back to my chat. Oh, so many windows open. There you are. Okay, so many options, y'all. I'm still learning this. Okay, how do I get back to my original?
Tab 3, well, do you want to get to Qiqo or Zoom?
I want to get to Zoom, so I can show my Zoom screen. Sorry, y'all.
So if you're on a Mac, what I do is Command and Tab. And
D, help here. I know you're the queen of this.
Hey, you also have a blue video record button icon at the bottom of your screen. You can click that.
It just brings up the join a meeting.
To show your Zoom window while you're screen sharing, it's a setting you have to set in Zoom itself under your account.
Ooh, that's so stinky. Okay. So then oh, there I go. Hold on. There I am. Okay, even better. Okay, figured it out. So if you look here, see how I'm sharing, and this is my screen. This is what it looks like on participants.
I think all we can see, Coach Steele, is, yeah, we just see Zoom Cloud meetings, a little pop-up that says join a meeting or sign in.
That stinks. So I don't think I can share this and show it to y'all, unfortunately.
No.
A screenshot might work.
Okay, that will work. That's probably easier. Thank you.
And if you want, we could do this live if you put that screenshot, if you upload it somewhere. Or
I can
actually take a screenshot and then open it on your computer and we should see it.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Excellent idea.
And Irene, what did you get right there? We saw your backgrounds change.
Yeah, so I use Zoom. I teach with Zoom, and so I have a lot of the settings enabled. And when you log into Zoom on the web, not hosting a meeting yet, in your meeting options, you can enable a virtual background. So if you have a green screen or something behind you,
cool. Under
your video, and I can actually share my screen and show you what it looks like on your side. Do that one more time. Don't have the right mouse. So under my video, I have choose a virtual background. And I have a lot of other options. And so then you can import, but I don't have a green screen behind me, so that's why it looks so terrible.
Pretty neat.
That is super, super cool. All the new cool things I'm learning. So are you still sharing? No, you can't. Hold on, let me share again with you and show you with the screenshot. So basically all it does is just, if you look at our participants, since you can do that as well, it shows you who host is. And now it says, if you look at the participants, it says me on top or wherever I am, and it says.
Would you like to share screens right now?
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Can you all see it? If you click on participants, can you see who's in our chat, who the host is?
I can.
Okay, and do you see that now Lucas has he's a host?
Yes, I see that.
So that was from him pressing the button that said, what was it, Lucas? I'm sorry.
Oh, it said claim host.
Ah.
And when I clicked manage participants, there was an option for me that said claim host.
I don't have that option.
Oh, And just like anybody else.
I don't either. No.
I don't either, and I've selected that button.
Oh, let me see. I will. Oh, I'm host right now.
And I've got reclaim host.
Yeah, can you take reclaim host and then I'll take a screenshot for everyone. Okay. This is meta, as you had said.
Very.
Claim host was never an option for me though.
And I'll show you where it was. So maybe it's in a different location. So I'm gonna open that screenshot.
While he's working on that, Catherine Goya asked a great question about the chat, about if there's one live chat or if there's multiple chats. And K-Cluster, you said can you expand on what your response was? There will be multiple live chats at the same time and they will be recorded. Are we talking Zoom at this point or like the actual chat feature?
There's one written chat window and it covers all the breakout rooms, but there will be parallel Zoom video going. In each breakout room will have its own notes page and its own Zoom.
So you said this chat, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm taking it away from the screenshots, but this live chat is for everything. So if we're wanting to chat with people via, like everyone would be able to see it, not just our specific room.
Very true.
So we should chat in a document or something like that.
Yeah, I would use the notes for sending messages.
I have a question after we're done with the screenshots.
Okay, yeah, I could. I'm going to share my screen now. This is fun. Okay, I will. So now I can only imagine what it looks like for all of you right now, but you're looking at a screenshot. You could see none of you is moving. And Michael was the active speaker at the time because the box around him is yellow. And at the bottom right, when I clicked, down at the bottom here, it said manage participants. When I clicked on that, this pops up, and on the bottom right, it says claim host. So I clicked on claim host, and that's how I was able to get it from Coach Steele. I'll stop sharing.
I don't have that button. I'm also one of the admins, so I find that interesting.
There's only the two, mute me and raise hand.
Okay, well, I think it must be because I have some additional privileges. We cannot use the claim host. I think that will not work. So the backup plan will be just closing Zoom and coming in as on the left-hand side. I'll show again. When you come in, if you are an admin, you will see it already. It'll say admin controls and then the red button, join audio video as host. When you come in as the admin, at the bottom right of Zoom, when you hover your mouse over, it's going to be a red record button. That's going to record it locally on your machine, and then you can post it anywhere you like after that.
So Coach Steele, I have a quick question, and I don't want to mess up your recording. I've been selecting record, please request record permission for the meeting host. Do you get a notification or anything?
No, I didn't get any notification. I was just thinking, I'm like, I've got to be almost near my 40-minute limit, so it's going to cut off soon. So I wonder what happens when that happens. Ooh, new things.
Yeah, and I think right now you're not going to be cut off with a 40-minute limit because you're coming in through Qiqo. So like Qiqo is paying Zoom per minute per person here.
Oh, okay, good.
So they want you to be on as long as possible. But I didn't get that notification of recording either because we did something complex here where we changed hosts. It's going to be interesting to see who is able to record or who is going to get the recording. And I think it's going to be Coach Steele is going to get the recording.
And I'm assuming the reason why you and I were able to go back and forth is because we're both admins on the Qiqo chat, because we have the admin option. I don't think any of the rest of them have the option when they sign in. Do you all see that?
Right.
So that could be why you and I are able to go back and forth. So just as best practice, close it out, have a new person host. But then if they're not an admin, are they able to host in the video chat?
So not everyone that needs to be an admin is made an admin already. I will show you the usernames of who is an admin at the moment. I'm going to share my screen, and I'll show you the Qiqo Chat page for editing all of EdChange Global. So in the menu, it says Edit Circle. If you're an admin, you will have this button already. And then I scroll down to Optional Features, and then Assistant Admins. And here are the current people who are assistant admins. Might be a little hard to read, it's just comma separated. But if you don't see your name on that list and it's supposed to be on that list, we'll be sure to put it there after this call, because I think there's probably a bunch of people that are both present and not present that need to be added. And then what that gives you is when you open up your event, you have the admin controls. You click Participate Now. Oh, I just jumped into the wrong one. I jumped into actually EdChange Global 2018. I need to go back. And under EdChange Demo. There we are. You'll have admin controls at the top left.
It's interesting because I also have admin controls and I didn't see my name on that list.
Ah.
Me too.
Oh, what I might have done is opened it up so that anyone, this particular event, anyone can edit. Yeah, I think this is not going to be the case for the actual event. I might have just really opened up this event. And
okay,
you'll want to check in the page where the event is happening. So when you click on EdChange Global at the top left, you don't need to do this now, but I think you'll want to, I'll write this up in instructions and people can do this afterwards. You're going to want to go into the actual EdChange Global event on July 20th and check there, because that one's a lot more locked down than this demo.
So something that may happen, Coach Steele, in thinking about, oh, well, I can't be the host, or, you know, I'm not the host, I'll log out and log back in, is if someone logs in that time slot that you're logging out, you close Zoom and then get back into it. Because that's very likely. That happens a lot in my classes.
So an example would be that, like, you were presenting or I was presenting and then I log out so you can get in, but somebody else logs in as host instead. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like they access it in that small amount of time that you leave to come back to become host, and they're hosts.
Only if they're admins can be hosts, so it looks like. Is that correct, Lucas? So
that is correct.
If they're not, so what I'm thinking, making notes myself, you see me like writing stuff, we should go ahead and make people who are going to be presenters on this forum admins for their types, so I can just type them into it. So if, let's say, I'm not an admin, but I log into Irene's session, I can't be her host. So only admins can be hosts. So that's a really good point to make sure I clarify later.
Yep, and there'll be an admin for each of the breakouts. So if someone is admin for table 2, it's not going to prevent you from being admin of table 4.
Rodney, you said you had a question. Did you get it answered?
I was just unmuting my button to say, hey, my turn.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
All right. So my session happens to be a Voxer session. Do I have to use Qiqo and Zoom to conduct that session, or do I do that on Voxer? Can I do that simply on Voxer, or do I have to come here?
I'm pretty darn sure, and Katie, you can chime in on this one also, that you are more than welcome to just do it on Voxer if you want to, but you also have the option of having the chat in addition to it if you want to use this.
Yeah, so you can totally stay in Voxer, and then I would just encourage you, or maybe one of the admin will do this for you. In the room number, we can put the Voxer link, so if someone's in Qiqo Chat, they can just click on that easily to join you in Voxer. And if there's something else you'd like, some other support, Rodney, just let us know, and we'll make that happen.
All right, appreciate it. That's what I was wondering. I'm thinking, okay, I will also put my my slides in there too, because I kind of like have it kind of like a Twitter chat. There was different slides I'm going to put in to for questions. And if I remember correctly, each session is about an hour long or half an hour.
It's around an hour, and I really love your idea about putting in your chat questions inside Qiqo Chat, because if you're not a pro user on Voxer, you can't see what's previously been posted. So that's super amazing. I think we're going to steal that and tell everyone else.
Okay.
And if people are doing a Twitter chat, just to build on your idea, I'm assuming Voxer has audio and or video, but if someone's doing a session on another tool like Twitter and they don't have audio and video, they can use Qiqo and do the Twitter chat at the same time. Just having a parallel video or audio chat channel is just open.
So
sorry. So with that being the case, I was thinking, Coach Steele, you're going to break out the rooms, right, for each of those sessions. So mine is day 1 at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that I could go ahead and put my questions in there. I don't know what session I am in, but could you send out a notification, hey, facilitators, this is your room number, and to let us know, so that way I can put my stuff in there.
So just a quick reminder of, hey, just check with you, your session's at this time. Here is your breakout room for Qiqo if you want to use it. And here's the link, correct? Sound good?
Right. So that way I can go ahead and find it and put my stuff in there.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So for those of us that are not using Qiqo or Zoom, like if we're using Flipgrid or Voxer or Twitter, what happens if the person, the people are going, is there some kind of message that could be just pasted in, like Rodney said, he's going to put his stuff in and say, oh, we're on Voxer, here's the link, but so that they don't go and access the video and are just kind of sitting by themselves in the Zoom if we're not using it?
Yeah, we could totally go ahead and exactly like you typed right here. If you're just drop a message in there saying, hey, here's a link to this person's presentation, and that way you can have a chat with it going also, or have a notes page, but they know where the link is. Would that work? Cool.
So jumping off of Rodney's question about where can, so he can post his stuff early, one of my co-presenters asked if she didn't have internet today to get in, but if there was a way that she could log in and practice between the Qiqo and the Zoom just to see what it looks like beyond this video.
Yes, you can actually do that at any time. So it looks like the page is open for ecglobal.qiqochat.com. I got there by clicking on the RSVP page, just the title. And on the right-hand side, you'll see upcoming live events, and it'll look very similar to what we have here. You can go in and practice. I'll see if that's set up right now. So I'm going to go into that event, and looks like the team is they have some codes here for the different names, and I think it'll make more sense when people take a look at the different tags they have. So this looks like it's open, and she could definitely check it out at any time.
It looks too that those tables don't share 2 sessions, so it looks like it's a table or room per session.
Although I think the next hour.
Well, back when they're reporting to parents, I'm in the last hour.
So you're absolutely correct, Michael. I'm not sure exactly what is going to happen here. And I would have to turn that question over to Coach Steele. What I would expect is that you're going to be reusing rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, because currently I have a feeling we probably should put stuff in there so we could see something. I was not the one who set it up, but we will, like, I will confirm people who are helping me, but most likely we're just going to keep updating the rooms each hour to make sure it's the exact person who's supposed to be there.
Very good.
And I can see down at the bottom, we already have open discussion 1 and open discussion 2. So.
Hallway chat.
Exactly. And I think we're all going to get better as this goes on.
Thank you for your help. It's been very helpful.
I'm learning a lot too.
So I have a question to Katie or anyone who's the organizing people. When do you expect to have kind of the rooms assigned, the room numbers for the Qiqo chats?
Well, since it's going to be done updated by the hour, the first set of sessions will probably be assigned as soon as possible. But then, of course, we'll have to reassign them each hour based on the fact that we only have a limited number. So it would probably be within the the first probably 15 minutes of waiting before your session. You probably know which one you're in. I mean, we're experimenting, and we'll know more as the actual event comes closer. And I'll probably play with that more this week, but I have time. But that's what I'm thinking probably the best option.
And as I'm looking at this and I think about it, I'm thinking these kind of look like tracks in a conference. So it looks like there's nothing in the AR track room in the beginning. And here's the next track, and there is a session. So that track is just open at the moment. So it might be that the track room it's always cultural connections in this room, potentially, because I see that it is that way for AR, VR, and MR. Just nothing is there. So maybe the word room 6, room 5 isn't going to be relevant because you don't see the room number, you actually see the track name. And that can change too. They can put 5 dot cultural connection, 6 dot designing content. So we can have multiple levels of information.
In your the document and the things you're sending out to us, and this is for Katie and Coach Steele, can you include who we should contact if, like, let's say our room's not there or something, because I mean, that's a lot for you all to have to continuously do. Just like who we should contact, or like even if there's time blocks that someone's working a specific time.
Of course, we can include, we'll probably include several emails, people who are available at different times, because none of us, I mean, let's keep it real. I've stayed up most times, almost the entire time, but 24 hours is very long. And for the first 5 hours, I'm stuck in a PD. So I'll have to have somebody who will be my backup also. So we'll probably have like 3 or 4 people rotating to help. But I will make sure that when we send out any documentation, we have at least 3 or 4 people we can contact.
In the email going out, you will have an contact, and then we've done a really great job, I think, as an organizing team to make sure we've got different time zones being represented. So it's everyone's normal waking hour usually. We have that person helping to be the main.
One suggestion, when you change the room names, you might want to do it 10 minutes before the next session starts.
And fellow organizing teams also correct me if I'm wrong, but we also are going to reach out to each of you as our game changer facilitators an hour prior too. So we have a team working on getting everything set up, so that you'll know where to go, and also, so we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. Our hope is that one of us will be in each room with each of you too, in case, especially as you're getting started, to make sure that you all feel comfortable. you know, if there's any questions that come up, you don't have to worry about dealing with any of the logistical stuff, that we're going to be on the back end working out those details for you. So if anyone shows up in the chat, I can't find such and such room, we'll have people alerted to that and leading them there.
Lucas, I have a question for you.
Yes, Robert.
How many rooms are there?
There's no limit. So however many your organizing team wants to put in.
So per hour, you know, Katie and Coach Steele's probably already thought about this. Per hour, they can just plug in the names from the schedule into a room.
I think it'd be more clear that way, because like we could have the option of making an individual one for each person, like right now. You know, your session's gonna be this. Here's your link. But that would be a ton of things to scroll through, and it's much easier and much more streamlined if we just keep 10 boxes and change them each time.
I have one more question from one of my co-presenters. They asked, what if we're in a Zoom live session, or that's the Qiqo Zoom session, and no one comes into it, what should we do?
So these unconferences are derived from open space, which is very similar format. And open space facilitators say that if no one comes to your session, well, first of all, they say, whomever comes are the right people. That's one of the 4 main principles they have. So they say if no one comes, they say you can sit there and think about your topic and something good will come to you. So that's the way that they look at it from the open space session. But I guess you have 2 options. You could stay or you could go somewhere else. And if you go somewhere else, I would say at least leave a note that explains, yeah, I waited for 10 minutes and then I saw this other session I'm really excited about. I'm going to jump into that. And the place you'd leave the notes would be right in the center of the screen where the notes are. But let me turn it over.
Irene, I've had that happen before. I've actually presented it it was 2 a.m. Central Time. So there are very few people who were actually up in there. And I had 2 participants. And we sat there for a while and I was like, well, do you guys want to present or do you just want to have a conversation? We ended up having a chat and going through my information and talking and having a great time. But I know that several of them were in across the world in Europe and they had sessions where no one showed up. So they just sat on their session for a while and muted their video, left a note saying, hey, if you're here, come hang out. If not, I'm going over here, tweet me. So it's up to you. You don't have to see the chat in a chat or anything if nobody's there. But you never know. People might show up.
And you're welcome to use Zoom to record a presentation and post it later. And people will be coming into that room over and over again for the next 23 hours. So you have a link to your recorded video that you post on YouTube and your contact info, and maybe people will contact you with questions or suggestions.
So that was my other question, because I lied when I said I only have one more. When we record, where does that, is it going to save when we close out, is it regular Zoom when we save, it will either save to our cloud or the computer depending on our settings? Yes,
it'll save to your desktop, and possibly if you've already arranged for it to save to the cloud, it might do that too. I have never experienced that though.
Okay. Well, so I do the cloud because then it auto transcribes and does a transcript,
nice.
So I don't have to do all that work or get one of my minions to do it. Okay,
nice.
Perfect. But we have to make sure we stop the recording and leave the room for that recording to come back with us, correct?
I think if you just quit Zoom, you would still be prompted, where do you want to save this recording?
Perfect.
It should be the same behavior as normal.
And this is Deb. I jumped in late. I'm sorry I didn't see you guys prior, but I believe we're going to have one of our organizers starting the recordings for you. So unless something has changed, I see Coach's face going, no. I thought that's what we had talked about in the past. So maybe not. So we will let you know then, since I just better just sit here and be quiet. I've been gone for a week, so a lot can change in a week. So sorry about that.
No worries. We've slightly discussed it, but the problem, we'll discuss it more offline with our organizers, let the facilitators know for sure. But okay. We were discussing how it'd be a lot of time on such different time zones and this, yeah, you know what I mean.
So either way, it'll possibly get recorded. But if you wanted to, even with people not being there, like Lucas said, you want to go ahead and record some type of presentation, we hopefully will have those for people to come back and see. So there you go.
Just a quick question then. If there is the case that no one's there and we decide that thinking of others who maybe wanted to be but couldn't be there, record it on whatever format we use, to whom should we send that?
That's a great question. I'm like, we're still working on that one. I'm not quite sure. I'll double check. Deb, do we have a YouTube channel?
There is a YouTube channel, and sorry, I'm about to choke on my water here. Hold on just a second, I'll come back.
So if we have a YouTube channel, potentially there'll be an organizing team such as myself and whoever else is kind enough to help me. And we could post it to our YouTube channel and send you the link. That would be helpful.
And quite honestly, in the past, this has been one of our weakest things. We have recorded things, but then we don't really have them out there for everybody to see. I think when we recorded from Qiqo Chat, when we did our student sessions, I believe those are out there. But the goal, one of our goals, is to be able to go back and have an archive of what has been done so that others can see the kinds of sessions that are going on and watch them at any point in time. So I believe that's something that we're working on. So if you record it, then we'll give you information about where to stick it so that we can include it, because you know you're going through a lot of effort doing this. We definitely want to make sure people all over the world see the great stuff you're doing.
On your audio first. I certainly hope people will be there, but just in case and you're saying it has happened, so just in case.
Something else that has really happened is people that want to be there kind of get lost. So if no one's there, please don't just leave. It might take like 5 or 10 minutes to get there. Maybe they're finishing up the last one. And then since this is totally Ed Camp style and it doesn't tattle on you, you know, if you're in live conference and you get up, it's like real obvious you left. There's going to be people probably even being like, I don't know if you can say computer whores, but they'll be in 3 different rooms at the same time. And all the topics are fabulous, so I would say please hang out because there's a high possibility you will get people. It might not be instantaneously, but they will come.
Well, it's like if you build it, they will come?
Exactly. If you wait long enough, they'll show up. That's really what our motto should be. Because really, there have been sessions where I've sat before with my screen pulled up and with the Google Slides on saying, you know, here I am, I'm muted, but if you need me, let me know. I'll start this at this time. And then eventually people have joined. So it is very much an unconference, and it's something that we're doing, you know, all willingly, all free donation. You know. But it's one of those, it's even better when people show up when you don't expect them to, because we have the best conversations.
That's one of the reasons why I chose Voxer. So that way I can put my stuff up there and just say, hey, if you want to join the conversation, we're already going ahead and moving. But here's the questions that you probably missed. And possibly maybe I might be adding in some additional questions or comments that other people have made onto the chat so people see what others have done. But I'm not going to promise that.
So thinking about the video sharing, and just going beyond YouTube, because like Rodney's using Voxer and I'm using Flipgrid and other people are using Twitter, it would be really nice if all of those different conversations were housed in one place other than just all the live sessions were housed in YouTube. Because like I'm using Flipgrid, but my sessions are midnight and 7 a.m. on East Coast time. So I'm kind of promoting it as asynchronous where you could join in later and not have to be in the moment right then.
That's probably something in the future as a organizing team we will come to a good consensus on and figure out a good solution. But we are working on it. It is in the works. It just may not be for this time.
Yeah, it's definitely a goal because not only do we want to archive the sessions, but we want to have that whole asynchronous come learn and enjoy from others as often as possible. So it is definitely in the works. So.
One other thing I was planning to do with the presentation I've done the presentation not Google Slides or PowerPoint, but in Prezi. And one of the options you have for Prezi is to allow others to collaborate on it. So my goal initially was to have, while we're presenting, have people make it with me. And so when I signed up for the facilitation role, I've asked people to drop me an email or drop me a DM on Twitter and say who you are, because I'd like to give you a link to collaborate with me. So either they can check it out beforehand and put their stuff in before I begin, or as we're going through it, they can jump in right away and start typing it up. The other option, I think, because what you're saying here, Rodney particularly, if I take the slides or the screens of the Prezi presentation, which I think are best for collaboration, I might post them and say, this is a spot where I'd like your thoughts. And as we're going through it, I can be editing as I'm presenting. So that would be an idea too. We'll see how that goes.
And it's also an excellent way to archive what we've been doing in the moment without having to have a YouTube channel. Ah, see, collaboration makes everything fabulous. All right. Do we have any other questions? Anything else? Any burning questions you want to ask Lucas or ask me or ask Katie or Deb?
You said any questions, right?
Yeah, related to this. Sadly, this year there will be no cookies. I hate to tell y'all, but I'm not going to be in Arizona. So I'm known for my cookies. I make cookies every year. Sorry, y'all. And y'all, I can mail y'all some. Anybody?
Please, that'd be great.
Yes, I have no problem shipping any to Scotland either, so I got you, Michael.
All right. So if we go on the SCED, it has all the information that people put in there, right?
Yes.
Right.
So far, except for I don't know if poor Joyanne's ever showed back up because hers got deleted somehow and she could see it, but hopefully it gets figured out.
Okay.
Any other questions?
My brain has been answered, so thank you so very much.
Awesome. Great. Well, awesome. Thank you once again, Lucas, for helping us with this. This has been so awesome and entertaining and enlightening, and thank you all of you who stepped back in. Thank you, Katie, for helping me. I appreciate you, and thank you, Dee, for being a backup, and hi, Deb. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to email me, message me, anything. I know Lucas is probably always here also, and we appreciate y'all being here. Can't wait to work with y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.